Greetings and salutations, everyone. I got another little quick one here, a little throwback, but for those who are new, I like to make these little videos about things that I enjoy, usually about film, but not exclusively, things that I like to share that come my way. And also, before we begin, if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up and hitting that little bell icon so you get notification for when I put up new content, which is once or twice a week. Occasionally I try to work in a little bit more as I can. While you're here, check out my back catalog and stick around to the end of the video. Don't forget to also share both this video and channel around, as all those things together really do help out a lot. Well, now that that's out of the way, this little quick entry is going to be for another 80s throwback film, which is One Crazy Summer from 1986, starring John Cusack, Joel Murray, Demi Moore, Bobcat Goldthwait, Curtis Armstrong. There are a few others in there as well that you may recognize. Now, this is directed by Savage Steve Holland, who, as far as films that you may know him from, or what I know him from the most, from Better Off Dead, which had come out, I believe, a year or two before this, and is still, very quotable. People still talk about it to this day. They still quote it and everything, and it seems to be a bit more popular than One Crazy Summer. And that's kind of why I wanted to revisit this film, was that I was definitely much more familiar with Better Off Dead, and I wanted to come back to One Crazy Summer because it had been a very long time since I'd seen it. And the synopsis for what this One Crazy Summer film is about? Well, an aspiring teenage cartoonist and his friends come to the aid of a singer trying to save her family property from developers. So, we got a fun little summer comedy here, which is why I'm doing this video during the summer as well. Happy 4th of July, by the way. So John Cusack's character, Hoops, is, he's a bit aimless after his graduation from high school, and, he wants to become a cartoonist. He's stressing out about it and everything, but his friend persuades him to come with him to Nantucket for the summer to visit his family, kind of get away from it all, relax, see if he can kind of clear his head and decide what he wants to do. And while he's there, he's introduced to quite a cast of characters, including a mechanic / odd jobs worker played by Bobcat Goldthwait, who's got a fraternal twin, his brother. They call them the Stork brothers, I believe. And both of them kind of do this same kind of handyman kind of work and mechanic work, and they're not very bright as well. Bobcat Goldthwait is doing his typical crazy voice that he did through a lot of 80s movies and during his stand-up as well. We also have a character, so his friend played by Joel Murray, that character's little sister, who for some reason is named Squid. It's a little redheaded little girl. She's got this dog that's got a collar on that looks kind of beat down, and people like to make fun of it. It's kind of strange. These characters really rip into this girl's dog. It's kind of gross. But there's also a character named Ak, literally Ak, 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 played by Curtis Armstrong, and his father is played by Joe Flaherty, who is, big military fanatic and insists that Curtis Armstrong's character, Ak, go into the military, but he's a much more soft kind of character. He's the military is just not the right choice for him. But, there's also this rich snob whose family is the one who's taking the property from this singer. He's a real spoiled guy, drives around in a sports car, revving the engine all the time, a real jerk, really spoiled and everything. And of course, as far as that singer's played by Demi Moore. So she's been trying to raise money, doing some other little shows here and there when she can, to try to save this property that her family owns currently. So, Hoops decides to basically gather the troops in a way. That almost rhymes. Oops. Anyways, so he's getting all of his friends together, so to speak, to try to help her raise money, advertise her shows and see if they can help her save that property. And it even goes along the lines where they're having to go further and join this boat race, that if they can win that, they'll either get enough money or be able to hold it over this rich family where they might be able to save that property. So if you're at all familiar with Better Off Dead, this one will be right up your alley. It's got the similar feel of this absurd comedy, over the top and of course very unrealistic situations, but somehow also manages to work in quite a bit of heart as well. Just little scenes here and there that have a little bit more depth for some of the characters. That those scenes kind of stick out because typically movies that get this zany and crazy don't really work that in. They just kind of ride that comedic high as much as they can. So this one kind of works in a little bit of other aspects to it. And just like Better Off Dead, they also work in some animation scenes as well. They have a lot of these little segues kind of showing this Rhino character, which is a way that John Cusack kind of, visualizes his character trying to find love and not finding it, while all these little fuzzy bunnies are tormenting him about it, and crazy little daydreams that are happening. But an interesting thing about this filmmaker, however, is that this being only his second credit for writing or directing, yet he put together this really fun film. It's kind of surprising that it worked that well, and this weird, silly comedy with a lot of heart at the center of it, which really makes it worth checking out. That's why I'm recommending it, and it's currently available on Stars and Canopy, which I believe is the one that kind of links to a library account. It's also available for rental if you want to pay to rent it. So yeah, if you're so inclined, what can I say except, I recommend it. I think you should check it out. It's a nice, fun summer film. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this little video of mine, because it's especially sticking around to the end like this and doing all those little YouTube things, it really does help the channel a lot. And that's about all I got to say for this one. Be sure to like, share, and send this one around, and I will see you in the next one. Happy 4th of July.